Hey, let's talk about appropriate language and appropriate topics of conversation while we're in our group settings for this 9 weeks, and we are collaborating in your group. So everybody will be put in a group. You're only going to see your group. Like when I assign the specific Google Slides, it's your specific group, and then I can go in at any time and see what your group is doing because it's all shared in the Google Drive. Okay, it's all automatic. So keep that in mind, that I'm able to see everything that you're doing in the computer. And so is Mr. Martinez, so is Mr. Martin, so is the district. We are not here we're not in these groups to criticize one another or to put each other down. That is not what this is, and is 100% not tolerated. We are here to help one another in a spirit of kindness and goodwill. So, acceptable things that you can type out and say. I'm gonna upload a photo of a drawing that I did, and I really like it. I think it's pretty good. I'm a little nervous about sharing it. Keep that in mind. If you feel nervous about sharing your artwork, so do your friends, so do your peers. They feel nervous about sharing theirs too. And remember the golden rule of, treat others as you want to be treated. So speak to people the way you want to be spoken to. So if you upload your photo of your artwork that you're working on for the show or for Vase or whatever it is, and you wouldn't want people to be like, ugh, what's wrong with that? That's not what you say. It's not finished. We're not doing that. So it is hey, this is a great start. Have you thought about where you're going to add more value range? Have you thought about color? Is it going to be in color or not? Like, ask some questions about the piece so that we can get these conversations started. Okay? You can say, hey, I think that this is working really well, but you might benefit from, and then you can put more contrast. Or you might, it looks a little out of balance. Is there a way, or is there something that you could add on like one side or the other that's going to give the piece a little more balance, right? So think about your vocabulary words for your principles of design and your elements of art. That is what we're focusing on. So you can ask, okay, so so if somebody uploads a picture in your group of a work of art that they're working on, it's acceptable to ask, hey, okay, so I like your piece. What principles are you focusing on? Like which principles of design are like really important to you for this piece? And then they would answer, and then other people can come in and say, oh yeah, I see where there's contrast. It's really great. But maybe there needs to be a wider value range, right? Going back into our elements of art. So there's a reason that we've looked through these principles of design, these elements of art so much. It's because it's going to be used now, okay? When you're analyzing or when you're looking at artwork and you're trying to help each other, bounce each other ideas around, you're going to need it. And that's the appropriate language for this type of setting. You're not saying things like, oh yeah, it's really pretty. That's nice, but that doesn't help us get to the final product that we need. Okay? Or just saying, oh yeah, I don't like it. That's not helpful. You're allowed to have an opinion, but one, you don't always have to voice it. And two, it doesn't help. Now you can say, oh, I see where you're going with your principles of design, but I feel like maybe it could use a little more, and then insert emphasis or unity or whatever it is that they're focusing on, okay? You don't have to like the piece personally. It doesn't have to be something, an artwork that you would hang up in your room. That's okay. You don't have to like it, but you can still help the person. You can still find the value in it. You can still have appreciation for the art that goes into it, okay? So that is number one key factor I'm looking for. You're not going to just be like, oh yeah, it's cool. I like it. I don't like it. No, those don't help us. Okay, it needs to be constructive. It needs to help us take our drawings or our paintings or our sculptures or photography, whatever it's going to be. We need help taking that to the next level to really make it that something that would be hung on a wall or framed versus just a sketch that you did really quick. Like it really has to have that complete finished feel to it. And collaborating with one another is one of the best ways to get to that point, because you can underwork something, which means it's not finished, but you think it's finished. It's not really finished. Having more eyes on it, having more people that are not emotionally attached to it to say, I don't think it's finished, helps. But you can also go too far, and you can work on it too much, and you can make it overdone, like you burned a piece of chicken, you know, like it's too much. And that also helps. Scale it back, okay? So that's the kind of language that we're looking for here. It's very constructive, not destructive, okay? We're building a house, we're not tearing it down. If you have any questions around that, you can ask me before you post something. That's fine too. Send me an email and say, Ms. Canales, I want to say this to this person, but I'm not sure if that's correct. That's fine. You can send me an email. That's perfectly okay. If you feel kind of nervous at first with sharing in front of your group, now your groups are not big, but if you feel a little nervous, you can type it to me, and then I'll put it in the comments as we go. I won't say who it's from, but that's only just to start. I'm not going to do that for the whole 9 weeks. You're going to have to kind of stand out there on that tree branch yourself, okay? But I'll help you get there. Again, any questions, just send me an email. If you're not sure a comment or a suggestion is going to be acceptable, send it to me first and I'll let you know. And participation is part of your grade for this 9 weeks, so you gotta participate in these Google Slides, okay? I'll post the Google slide in your group. So only your group is going to see each slide. I'll have them labeled, and then I'll have folders in my own Google Drive, but everything automatically saves in that Google Drive as you're working in the Google Slides. So do not erase something that's already there. If you didn't put it there, don't delete it. Okay? That's super important. Super, super important. Because we're all working on the same Google Slides together. Okay? And then at the end, I've got proof that you were participating. And it's proof for you that you were participating. Okay, so if you feel like you should have gotten a better participation grade, you have all the proof of where you participated. Okay, so it's like a living document there, and it's going to be continuously running. Okay, for this 9 weeks. And then the nice thing is, when we're done with the 9 weeks, we've got a super nice piece of art that will go into the art show that we're going to have later. I think it's like in May or something like that. But we'll have these nice big projects done before testing starts, okay? So questions, email me. I know this is a long video. I try not to make my videos this long, but it's super important for you to have these expectations of what is allowed. Same thing if I open the comment section in Google Classroom for you to be able to post comments and things. It's the same kind of stuff. Building each other up, giving construction, not destruction. You want to construct, you want to build the house, not tear it down, things like that. If I see anything that is unacceptable or could be considered bullying or is not nice or unkind, we're not playing those games, okay? All right, have a good day.